Welcome back to It's in the Blood. We're getting ready to fire off our fall sports season. We have had a sticky, hot, long, strenuous summer, and the channel is not going to look the same this year as it was last year. Unfortunately for everybody involved, Miss Alex happens to work way more now than she did. So games are going to be more selective. We're still going to put together picks videos and do a few Q&A live streams along the way. We're going to make all that work for everybody. But I think the games are going to slow down some, depending upon when somebody can be here. I guess it's always kind of been that way. I just know her participation is, unless something drastically changes, is going to be limited. And unfortunately, we got to do what we have to do to pay our bills and survive. And for that, that means Alex has to work a couple jobs, and she has to work just about every day of the week to maintain the life that she wants to live. With that being said, super stoked to be back. Got a bunch of things on my brain, getting my brain ready to fire off at. First thing we're going to talk about today is I'm going to get through the things that are starting first. Probably going to be in here a little bit more for some college football this year, as Kurt Signetti and my Indiana Hoosiers football team have created an expectation. And as much as I love how all that works out, we're going to follow that journey a little bit in here on Saturdays. They did not have a super tough schedule this year, but we're going to see if they can repeat the process. We're going to see if confidence in coaching and hammering the transfer portal from a program that was never any really much good for the most part for the last 30 years. We're going to see if this coach can actually change the culture. It's kind of an interesting story to me. He came in last year and nobody thought they could do anything. The only two losses of the season came to the team that won the national championship and the team that got runner-up. So there's no shame in that, in having it. We got an A Pizzle in the house. What is up? My favorite incumbent Miami Dolphin fan. And we got a couple Steelers fans and a Bengal fan in here right now. And like that's a segue into everything. We are going to go straight into some NFL. We'll be in here for some college football this year. Definitely going to be discussing it, but definitely going to be in here for some NFL. And that is the pressure point. That is what this channel is based on. Mine and Alex's love of football, and we're going to make sure that we hit that this year. We're going to start it out. And I think the big topics of conversation for me personally this year is just another offseason distraction in Cincinnati. Let's make that two of them. The first one is drafting Shamar Stewart, which I probably wouldn't have drafted even though he's a talented guy. Drafting him and then trying to change the language to match the rest of the team, some of the teams in the NFL, and ending up having to make a barter at the end to get him to sign his contract. However, thank you, Mike Brown, for holding your ground. I think your quote on that, albeit a little bit harsh, but you're not going to pay somebody to sit in jail. And I think that's a little bit harsh, and it could be considered a little bit wrong to say. But I think the point should be well taken that just because you're a rookie in the NFL, you're not guaranteed much. You got to go out there and earn everything you get, and holding out on your rookie contract is kind of a pain in the butt. Snowman Multimedia in the house. Check in Brian Snow's channel. Everything Snowman, the bro, plays a hold on every bit of sports that he can. Good friend of the show, good friend of mine. Much love, my friend. Going back to that, another season of distractions in the offseason. The Trey Hendrickson thing is one of those that's going to end up probably where we thought it would in the beginning. It's a rock and a hard place. Both teams on that, both sides have incredible leverage. Trey Hendrickson was the NFL sack leader. They were throwing money to defensive ends this offseason, running that bill up to close to $40 million a year. But Cincinnati's signing for a contract, and he's still got a year to play on that contract. They have him at $16 million. He came back to practice, which means he doesn't want to be fined. He's going to sign. The question is for what and how long. He wants a longer deal. Don't think he's going to get it. I think personally, Cincinnati can play. If they really wanted to play hardball, they could franchise tag him after this season and hold him for another year or two. And by that point, his career is over. So let's get something worked out. Let's stop dragging our feet on this. We need Trey practicing because we need him on that defensive line this year to groom these young guys like Miles Murphy, even Joseph Osai, and Shamar Stewart. Going on to the next part of that is the NFL in general. One of these days, we're going to have a team. We're going to have a team that where the players sit down and decide that they're going to prioritize a Super Bowl over financial expectation. I know that sounds crazy, but you're going to find a team that's going to do it. You're going to find a team that's they're going to offer a few little bit of hometown discounts. They're going to do something where a quarterback says or a defensive end says, hey, if you can sign this guy, I'm going to take a few million less. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes has done that in renegotiating his contracts. And signing an extremely long-term contract really gave Kansas City some leeway in that. I expect to see other teams starting to do the same. There is a wild puppet in the house. Much love, my young brother. Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you in here. But I'd love to see football be back to just about winning instead of the financial side. It is NFL is a sports entertainment company, a lot like professional wrestling. And that sits a little rough with my soul that we're looking to put the best product on the field. And whatever that means, to some degree, people are always going to be accusatory of there being something wrong with that. Going to move on just a little bit. A couple teams of note that really have to do something this year. I think San Francisco is in that ring that needs to improve. I think they lost a lot of money right off of their salary. They lost a lot of financial guys out. Greenlaw, and they lost, I think a swing tackle got $16 million. And I really feel like that this is going to be an important year. Saleh coming back on the defensive side. They're going to have, I think, 3 rookie starters in that defensive line. There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a little bit more pressure out there than what people think because San Francisco has a pedigree to win, and things don't go well when you go whatever it was 6-11 last year. I think that's going to be one of the interesting teams to watch. I really personally think that, I think that Brock Purdy and Mac Jones are in the same level of competition. I feel like those guys are pretty evenly matched. But I'm going to do a little shout out for third stringer and recovering from surgery quarterback out there, Mr. Curtis Rourke. Good to see that guy making a team. Hopefully he will be on the field for them at some point. But San Fran is one of those teams that's really got to put up or shut up this year. And another one is Pizzle's Miami Dolphins. It feels like Miami's in tank mode. I hate to say that, but I look at how that things have gone for them. And I really think Mike McDaniel's a great coach. I just don't like the culture down there right now. I really think that they've got a chance to finish third in that division right now, and that's crazy. As talented as that roster is, I don't have faith in Tua, but I know he can do it. Keep him healthy. I'd like to see the East a little bit more competitive because F Josh Allen and the Bills. Going to move on down just a little bit further. I want to talk about Alex's Chiefs for a moment. Haven't got a chance to do that, but they're quietly going about their business. A lot of chit-chat has been in Raider Nation this offseason. A lot of talk in Denver. All these teams are improving, getting better with coaches, draft picks, free agent picks. Kansas City's been awful quiet, and that's pretty scary. Not a lot coming out of there. So kudos to Andy Reid for kind of keeping the pressure away from his guys right away. I think that might allow them to get out to a pretty good start. if they make it back to a Super Bowl this year, it'll only be the second time in the last 20 that a team that lost the Super Bowl made it back. So they have got a tall hill to climb this year. Good luck. That West is going to be brutal. Feel bad for the Chargers losing offensive line. Slater to the whatever it was, a torn ACL or meniscus, I'm not sure. Desmond Ridder is on the Bengals. Yeah. It's nice to see a Cincinnati boy back in that area. Good for him. Hopefully he makes practice squad or third string, whatever it is that he gets to play. But I think he's a guy, when he went to college, was in a very pro-style offense. He had really good reads, but just at the wrong university to really compete. So maybe if he gets a little opportunity to sit and learn a little bit, it will get better for him going forward. Kind of going back in to a little bit, since there's a few more people in the chat right now, with Alex's work schedule, with the time that she has. Yo, what's up, Derby? Good to see you. With her work schedule, her and I are going to have to work on recording a little bit more, doing a few more videos, maybe a few more Q&A live streams when we can. Game night's what's going to suck, because her and I like to do the games together. That's why we started here. And yeah, so we're going to figure that out. Hopefully one game a week we will be able to do together. Jesse, what up? Hopefully we will be able to get into that mode again and kind of go forward. I am going to try to do as much basketball and football as humanly possible. Also, if you can't find us here, or if you can't find me here, Alex has a gaming channel. If she's on, she might be there. It's me, Scurvy, with 3 Y's, Yahoo, or at YouTube. And then I'm of course Papa Blood, but you got to add an S because some guy has the Papa Blood handle and I can't take it from him. So, but anyway, we will be here for as many of those as humanly possible. And for though anybody here, most of you don't care, but who has the best kicker? I don't know anybody that's got the best kicker. But Jacksonville's kicker, Sports Cat, of course, made a 70-yard field goal in a preseason game. But you will be hard-pressed to see anybody. You will be hard-pressed to see anybody allowed to kick one of that length in the NFL. And, Derby, that brings me right to the point. Can you join the panel and ask why Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time? This isn't a panel shot today, but when we do one of the things that's titled a Q&A universe, if you would like to come up and debate that point, that would be great. I love to hear why Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time, because I don't know why the greatest player of all time would have the worst fans, but that's another story. Jordan fans are real, my friend. Also, Hoosiers are 3-0 in Puerto Rico. Don't get too excited about that, Derby. This team is a progress going forward. It's going to be a bigger hill to climb than what everybody might think. The hill to climb in that is that there are very much 10 or 11 guys that play very similar positions. They are not going to be playing that level of competition all season long. Their numbers looked really good. You know, it was good to see them all on the floor together. Wilkerson looked really good. Wilkerson looked really good. I'm a little bit, we did not get, very long a clips, but what I've got to see from practice and stuff is a team that is learning to mesh together. There's going to be a lot of bumps in the road this year. I think the level of competition in the Big Ten is going to be a little steeper. Most of these transfers do not come from big school. Peace out, universe. I'm interested, but that's not what today is about. So come back another time. I really feel like it's going to be a process. So, with that being said, there's going to be a lot of growth that has to happen. But the thing about DeVries is that he did not go out and try to get the biggest names that he could get. He went out and got guys that fit his style of play. And I think setting a culture and setting a style of play that's going to be conducive for years to come for Indiana is very important. I really think that, setting guidelines and getting something to where it needs to go is one of those things that the Hoosiers are really going to need this year. And I'm very excited to see, but I feel like it's going to be a very growing pain-esque type of season. DeVries was the right hire, I think, at this point, just because he's at the right point in his career where he's still easily gotten. And I still think, the promise of Tucker for one season gave Indiana some added star power to that mix. But it's not as easy. You can't just go pick up 15 guys or 12 guys in a transfer portal and start over, a few months in, right at the time of, right at that time of year when the portal opens, and expect to be 100% ready to go by the beginning of the season. I look to watch them develop. I will be doing some content on this team before the season starts. I feel like it's going to be a good team. It's going to be you're going to see what everybody's wanted to see for the last 3 years. You're going to see a lot of 3-point shooting. You're going to see a lot of in the way of the things that you did not see before. You're going to see more guard-oriented play and wing-orientated play, and it's not going to be the power middle game that is we'll just say it, kind of dull, right? Nobody really wants to watch that game anymore, although they did pretty good with it under Woodson considering what they had. With that being said, unless, and also we're not having debates up here today. Sorry about that, universe, but whatever the case may be, we're not doing debates up here. But anybody that wants to ask a question about the off season, about this season coming up for the channel, please do. Please bring it at It's in the Blood, or however it comes up to where I see it. Please bring it up. I'm glad to see everybody in here. I see some Steelers fans in here. I think Steelers Nation has a lot to look forward to this season. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the guy that he was, but he doesn't have to be in that offense. I think DK is a big enough target for him, and I love Caleb Johnson. Let's say that right now. The running back that they got from Iowa. Also, the Ohio State quarterback that you picked up in the 4th round. I think he's a gamer. He's a little immature, but he's a gamer. And you also got the linebacker. I can't even think of it. Jack something. He's really good. What we got to look forward to? What up, Chris? What do you got to look forward to? Christopher is a New England Patriots fan that might be able to hold his head up high this year. They got a new statue in Foxborough. That statue is going to enable Jet fans to throw beers for a long time. But I think Vrabel is the guy they wanted all along in New England. I think Vrabel's the right guy, the guy that they wanted all along. I think last year's coach knew that it was just a 1-year deal until they could get Vrabel in there. I think everything was set up and planned to be this way for the reunion, bringing back the old offensive coordinator. I think Drake May's a good quarterback. I got a lot of things that look good. I think New England has taken a step up in that division for sure. So, Chris, with that being said, there you go. You're going to have a promise of a better season this year. I guarantee it. Vrabel knows how to win games. The running game will be very important in New England. Take some of that pressure off that young quarterback. Let him grow. It'll be exciting to watch. what else do we got to look forward to this year? Uh, I'm still pretty fired up. I'm really fired up over how good the whole. Lindsay, I said hi to you. It was before we even started. Uh, Miss Lindsay Brillhart, my loyal Bengals fan, is in the chat, and yeah, I've been going through pretty fast today because I just kind of threw this together because I felt it was time. We might get a pop in or a stop by from an Alex here in a little while, but all I'm asking from you guys is a little patience this year. Come back and check us on game days and see what's got. I will try to get a schedule up. Johnny Knight, what's up, bro? Good to see you, my friend. We're really looking forward to putting together, 2 to 5 pieces of content a week, whatever that may entail, and getting back in here. Alex has got to get to a place where she can have a day off every week. Right now, if I must tell you, Alex gets about 1 day off every 2 weeks, and sometimes they take that away from her. Yeah, Chris, college football is going to be in. As you know, I am a Big Ten fan, so I will be, if I'm in here doing college football, it's more than likely going to be for my team. As a personal thing for me and Indiana Hoosier fans. But if there is something that really interests me on a Saturday or a Saturday night and my schedule is clear, I'm going to jump in here. Usually Saturdays are for editing and doing stuff like that, but I will make it a point to come in, if nothing else, just to BS sometimes. It's good to have everybody stopping in today. I was kind of wondering if anybody would actually see the stream was dropping for today, and I ran my mouth so appropriately well that it's almost 6:30, and I have gotten through most every one of my talking points. But I would like to, if you guys want, make sure you stop by and show Alex some love. It's me, Scurvy, at YouTube. And I'm Papa Blood over playing games. Also, if you want to stop in on some of the other stuff over at Ohio River History, I've always got something going on at least every Thursday in there. But, it's going to be a year where I think it's the most wide open year for a path to the Super Bowl that we've had in a while. And Alex and I will be dropping our picks here very soon that will include complete records, division winners, playoffs, and then we will go all the way through based on those picks and pick Super Bowls before the season even starts. That will probably be a video, maybe a live. I've just got to, but with her schedule, it's going to be difficult to get her in here on live streams. And with that, it's just one of those things, but we're going to make sure that we keep it together this year and push it forward. Anybody else got a question for one of their teams or anything going forward today? This is probably going to be a short stream. So if you got anything, drop it right now. Angie says here, chicky, chicky, chicky. Wish her the best. Yeah, Lindsay, it's a tough world that we live in. And, Alex is a single 29-year-old woman. Shit. She's a single 29-year-old that's out there trying to make her way, and she's doing it the best she can. So she's doing it on her own and by her own terms. And sometimes that means that you got to work 2 jobs. Sometimes that means you got to work a lot. And she's doing that right now. She's not so far away that I can't reach out and help, but she's doing it on her own, and that's important. Yeah, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I don't know how some people get away with not doing it. Thoughts on Tucker DeVries going scoreless in the first half of the last game? Tucker's sit for a while, and Tucker's the really interesting component of this team because he brings a real skill set that is maybe NBA orientated. And for that, he's they've got to teams are going to focus on him. I think Wilkerson's going to be the man, honestly, but teams are really going to focus on shutting him down. And plus, he's had some injuries, so it's going to take him a little while to be ready to go. No worries about him going scoreless for a half in a game. Teams are going to be trying to focus him all season long. I think that's why there's so much depth at that 2 and 3 position on this team, is because we're going to attack it from different ways. And he may be the star, the prize get from the offseason, but he's going to be the focus of a lot of defenses, right? A lot of effort's going to go into stopping Tucker. And I think that's going to allow these other guys. You see these guys putting up 12, 13, 14 points a game. You're going to see a lot more of that with Tucker getting all the focus. She's a grown woman now, Mr. Shane. Can't help her forever. Chris, absolutely I can. I can help her as much as I so choose for the rest of my life. And that's up to me. However, I'm not taking care of her. That's the difference. Excited that Ritter's a Bengal in that nasty natty. His words, not mine. He knows the city. He knows he has pride in the city. I think that makes him very viable. He's going to be doing a lot of scout team stuff, and he's a good quarterback. And, if nothing else, maybe a year or two here working underneath Burrow and Dan Pitcher, that, he might find a home. Jake Browning is going to be on an NBA roster if they do not keep him signed. He played very well in Burrow's absence. So I'm really confident at the quarterback position. Even if we lose one, hopefully not this year, hopefully never again, but if we do lose one, I'm confident that we will still have the firepower on offense to make that work, especially with Taj Brooks coming in the late round this year, having a really solid young 1-2 punch at running back, which is the growing theme in the NFL. I think Chase Brown and Taj Brooks are going to make a very good duo. And they must have thought it was going to be a very good duo, too, to the point of cutting Zach Moss, right? So they went ahead and cut some experience and going forward with this younger running back room. I agree about Wilkerson. He's going to be a good one in Big Ten play. Yeah, I think he's the X factor, right? He is the X factor for this team. I'll say it now on August the 12th. Right now, when I watch them play, he looks the most ready to go. I will develop a bunch of opinions as soon as I get to see a little bit more of it and when we get a little bit closer to actual season play. But I do think he's going to be, and I'm going to tell you that the kid Trent Sisley, the freshman that decided to still come to Indiana, he's going to be a good ball player too. I think he's going to be very solid. You're going to see him putting in 6 to 8, 10 points a game, somewhere around there, 4 or 5 rebounds. He's going to be very solid. He may develop into more, but I know he's going to be solid. The Puerto Rico games, it's a shame that they don't give you an opportunity to watch the full game. I would love to have a full game recording of it. I only got to see like 5-minute clips, and I think I got 2 or 3 per game. And so it was really tough to digest what we saw. Do you think that DeVries come in at the right time? I really look forward. Derby, you're going to see an offense a lot like what Fran McCaffrey ran in Iowa. I think if you go back and watch Iowa tape from last year, that's what this team is going to look like. Athletic fives, swing fours, everybody shooting the long ball, controlled fast break. You're gonna looking for some opportunistic baskets, controlled pushes, that kind of thing. You're going to see a lot of what Fran McCaffrey brought to Iowa before. which is not typical Big Ten basketball. So that's why Iowa was always so hit or miss, right? They either go out there and score 96 points a game and win by 10 or 15, or they lose by 30. So take it with a grain of salt. Hopefully the team will be tougher on the defensive end. I think that's a lot of what I think DeVries was really looking for, defensive players to really stiffen up, try to get, trying to hold these teams under 64 points a game, somewhere right around there. Would be really nice to go back to having a defensive-minded coach. Okay. All right. Does anybody got anything else about anything this evening? If not, I'm going to shut it down here shortly. But glad to see everybody back. Chris, I know you're still a moderator, so be sure not to be be sure to be a good one this year. Who is the Universe? Does anybody know who the Universe Galaxy was? Let's see. Debating Michael Jordan fans. Debate. Michael Jordan is not the number one player in NBA of all time. You must not have watched him play. Can you make a whole channel? 32,000 subscribers based on Michael Jordan not being. I'm telling you what. If you're still here, Universe, I will check it out. Honest to God, I will check out what you have done. But I can tell you, as a fan of basketball from the mid 80s up through the late 90s, was probably the most physical brand of NBA basketball that we have ever seen. It definitely wasn't for the weak-minded. That was Angie says, I can whack a troll. Yeah, I know you can, Angie. And that depending upon who all's around here, that might be a good option. But see, I don't like to whack trolls right away. I like to figure out what they're trying to accomplish first and foremost. And I didn't go vertical today, so I don't have to worry about severe asshats. But this guy's got 900 videos about, and the biggest playlist he's got looks like educating Michael Jordan fans. I mean, I want to know who he likes. He's got to be a Bron guy, right? He's got to be a LeBron guy. I mean, you can make an argument for Kobe and be really good, but he's got to be like a LeBron guy. Now I see Isaiah Thomas. Larry Bird was one of those guys that was tough. But I've got to watch some of this content. It's just gonna mess me up a little bit because I don't know if Puppet was whacking him, but I am definitely curious a little bit. Then let's just see what the channel says. The number one most influential amateur NBA page on YouTube. You will learn more from the NBA legends on this page than any other page on YouTube. This page has been featured on ESPN, Fox Sports, and TNT, and many other places in the media. I got to look that up. The many popular NBA pages on YouTube learn things from this page then. Now, if you disagree with me on anything, you're welcome to go on my podcast. If you want to go on, send me an email. Please put your phone number and I will call you. The email is thetelephoneuniverse@gmail.com. I'm down for that. The biggest troll, and it's in the blood history, has stepped into the room. Miss Mary. I gotta say that the guy's confident. But man, that is a conversation I gotta see. That being said, you all have been really cool today for coming in and hanging out. I appreciate you all. Look for the community tab. That's probably where the posts are going to start coming from. Like I said, if anybody else has any other questions, I did allow an hour for today, and we are at 37 minutes. Angie says, I warn twice before I whack them. The only people that ever really need whacked in here, Angie, is the people that come in here giving my daughter a hard time. And I'm allowed to do that. And certain people in here are allowed to somewhat give her a hard time, but not happening. Also, that's right. Give me some shit. I appreciate it. No, right? That's the thing. I mean, obviously, he's fixated on it. So I think the way to handle that, well, I'll save that because I'm gonna reach out because I've got to figure something out. I gotta talk to this guy, honestly. Jay Paul, what up, young brother? Good to see you. Also, I hope everybody likes the shark. Wanted to change it up a little bit today, make it look a little evil or something, But I thought the shark with the blood was pretty appropriate for the day. Hey, when this is all said and done, y'all, do me one solid. Anybody that's still in the chat, leave some nice comments for Miss Alex down below. Let her know that she is missed so that we can get her fired up about being back in here and sparking some passionate debate out of her, because she knows the game pretty well, and we got to get her to find the time and make the time to be here. So with that all being said, I'm going to bid you guys a very fond farewell. Angie and Rick Adventures will be live tonight at 8 p.m. The shark looks like me, big mouth and everything. I don't know. I got some other ones. Hang on a second. Let's see. Want to see a different one? Nope, that one you've already seen. Let's see. Let's try. That one's a little cartoony. Mary, that shark looks a little bit like you. What up, Kay? Merry Christmas, bro. Good to see you. Hopefully you will go back to the beginning and get the itinerary. Looking forward to being back live a lot, but it's not going to be as much as it has been in years past. I'm doing well. Unfortunately for the channel, both Alex and I have been put into a position where we're working quite a bit more. So that's kind of bad. Let's see. What else do I got here? And then I got the one I used for my thumbnail today. I got that one. Rah! Do you like that one? And then let's see. We got one more. I don't remember what this one is. Oh, yeah, look at that one. I like that one. I was trying to figure out exactly what's behind him. Yeah, Kay, I mentioned it earlier. Right now, she's working guaranteed 6 days a week, 3 8s, 3 12s, and every other week she has to work a mandatory 12 on her day off. Not to mention, she has 2 dogs, 2 cats. She has 3 cats. One lives with me somewhere. He's a basement dweller. And she's got a lot on her plate. And, if you go back a few years, some of the best times that she's had as an adult, we had in here together. So we're going to try to push it out. Like I said, if you see me on the vertical live stream format, that's when you need to look out. If I'm on the vertical, that means that I need some whack trolls because it'll happen. But yeah, it's very nice to see you too, Kay. Yeah, I thought that at first too, Mary. But over on the left-hand side, it's really strange. It's like I can't make out what was happening there. I see the moonlight above his snout. It's like he's in a studio, right? He's in a studio. Looks like studio lighting. But I like that he's breaking the water, and then I like the font on the blood. Could be a scoreboard. I'm working on scoreboards for this year as well. I've been putting some time in. Okay, I feel like you're a Dolphins fan or a Titans fan. Which one are you? Or a Giants fan? I can't remember which. Sanders is looking good for the Browns. The Browns are somebody that nobody's. K is Dallas. I can't read. Dolphins. Yeah, that's what I thought. Dolphins. Shadur had all the pressure in the world taken off of him by not going to the 5th round. Gave him a level of motivation, got a chip on his shoulder. He knows he's keeping his dad out of his business. I think that's the best thing that could have happened to him. The worst thing that could have happened was somebody drafting him in the top 5 that needed a quarterback but needed help elsewhere too. And I really think he ended up in the right situation. Lions got quarterback issues after Goff. Hendon Hooker does not look the part. Kyle Allen may win that backup job in Detroit as it stands. But Kay, the Dolphins, I don't know what to think. I feel like they're going into tank mode this year. Does it not feel kind of that way? Does it feel like they're preparing to try to win a Super Bowl in Miami? It doesn't feel that way to me. No clear favorite in the NFL this year. Yeah, I think that's a very accurate point. Mary's like the Lions are better in the 70s. You just hate Detroit. Don't stop being a troll. Watch this. The NFC West is considerably better. We were talking about this earlier. The NFC West is considerably better. Kansas City is not the most talked about team in that division right now. And that bodes well for them. It's been one for the last 19 that a team loses a Super Bowl and makes it back the next year. So they've got the biggest hill to climb. But it's quiet, right? It's been a really good offseason in Kansas City. Not a lot of extra drama. a lot of getting down to football. So I think they'll be ready to go. I really think Denver is going to have a good year. I think Denver is clearly probably the second best team right now in that division. And I think the Raiders are coming up. But I still think that, the Chargers I think they have the best physical quarterback in the division. I like him better than Mahomes, to be honest. But, it's going to be a grind division. It's going to be I think it's going to be a grind 'em division. I think you're going to have to score points and be able to run the ball to win the West. Kansas City is going to have their hands full. AFC South, it feels the same as it does every year. Right now, it feels like it's Houston's to win. I feel like everybody else is just struggling around the 500 mark. With that being said, Jacksonville's a little bit better. Packers all the way. The Packers, here you go, Packers fans. Here, I got one for you. Last year, the Packers went 10-1. 10-1 outside their division. They went 1-5 within their division. They've got to learn to beat teams like Chicago, Detroit, and Minnesota if they want to contend for a Super Bowl. It starts with the division title. Very rarely does a Super Bowl champion come out of the wild card round. So, get better within your division, Green Bay. Matt LaFleur's done a good job. Get better. Bring up teams, I got answers. At least I got opinions. And the best part about opinions is that mine's not the same as yours. Let's go. NFC West. We talked about this earlier. San Fran's got a lot of pressure. They're going really young on defense. They lost more dollars in free agency than you can shake a stick at, and a lot of good players left. They got young. What do you expect from a bunch of cheeseheads? I like cheese. Matthew Stafford and the Rams, if he can stay healthy. Seattle, I don't know what to expect. It just seemed like they were just a little bit off last year, and I'm not a Geno Smith fan. And bringing in Sam Darnold, I don't know how I feel about that. Seattle could revert, but I actually think that the Cardinals are going to be better than the Seahawks. Can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, I think so. And as long as it's orange, I'm with you there. Orange is my favorite color. Let's go ahead and go in the NFC East. I think Washington, Philadelphia, it's going to be a bloodbath. I think the Giants are going to be better. I really do think the Giants are going to be better. But they've probably made the biggest mistake in NFL history letting Saquon leave and keeping Daniel Jones a few years ago. I think that was a mistake. But they're going to be better. I think Brian Daboll cements himself in that coaching job for a few more years. Jackson Dart might be okay 2 years down the road. I'm not even about to talk about my AFC North just yet, but to win that division right now, you have to be able to go through Baltimore. And that's how you win that division, go through Baltimore. Lamar Jackson went for 40-4 last year. I think he threw 41 touchdowns and threw 4 interceptions and did not win the MVP. He has matured, and he is probably playing his best football at this point in time. They seem to draft very well for their defensive side of the ball, and it doesn't matter who they put on offense. As long as they've got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, they're going to be good. That's another one I can't believe. I can't believe Tennessee went away from Vrabel and Derrick Henry. There's another team to talk about. I think they're going to struggle. Much love, Miss Mary. Have a good night. Hopefully all is well. It is almost time to go. I hope Shadur plays better. I hope he makes a team. AFC South feels wide open. It really does. Who's on your show tonight, Angie? Who you got tonight? Listen, my internet went out yesterday and it did not come back on till this morning. I had no internet all day. I did more work yesterday around this house than you can shake a stick at. Oh, we dig it, Gene. You're gonna have all the boys too? Yeah. Some of my favorite people. Spending time with him and his family was absolutely amazing. Such good people, such well-rounded kids. We're heathens, Angie. I did a series a while back. I'll have to bring it back up to remember all the details on it, but took the PA when they were really popular, the PA Dirt Diggers or whatever they were called, and we did a big Q&A thing from 4 groups of us. It worked out really well, but the We Dig It boys were there. They've got a lot of cool stuff. They live in the most amazing island. Such nice people. I should be going back next year. Yes, ma'am. You bite your tongue a little bit. You reel it in just a little bit. And you add the dang it's and the gosh darns and be careful. Out of respect, not because of anything else. My shark back up there. Ultimate amount of respect. Angie, this is our 6th year of Mondays. 6th year. I'm pretty sure that's right. This will be our 6th season of Mondays, starting in like September. And it just started with me and Gene. All right, baseball, football, basketball, anything but hockey or soccer. Yeah, you got that personality. A little bit of that Southern Baptist in you. It's a good time every week, and everybody. It's just good people. If I had a bunch of shitheads, Angie, I'd shut it down. If I had a bunch of crappy people, it wouldn't be worth it. With that being said, everybody, when this is over, when I close it down, go down there and leave a comment for Miss Alex at ITSMESKIRVYYY. Leave comments for Alex. Tell her that you miss her. You can even tell her that you love her. But that's the way to get her back. Is get her back by showing her some praise. Speaking of praise, one of my favorite people has just stepped into the room. Johnny Small Pepper, what is up, brother? How you doing today? See, that's what I feel that. Listen, I feel like that's where Miami's at. I feel like Miami's in a tank season. It's hard to come out here and say that because, it's the wrong thing to say and for any team. But oh my gosh, Archie Manning has got the right pedigree for long-term NFL success. It's easy for them to get rid of Tua at this point. It is an amazing feeling to be blessed and feel blessed. See, there you go. But I think her personality, it would do her some good, right? It would do her some real good to see some comments after this live stream, because the question is where is Alex? So when we're done, you can comment anything you want, but go down below and hit up Miss Alex. Leave her a comment. Maybe I can get her in here the next couple days. Maybe I can get her in here to do our picks or get her in here for a Q&A. But that is the goal. Those are the rest of you. Shane's going to be playing some Phasmophobia tonight. Got a new map to learn. And got to figure out how to get that channel off the shadow banned list. Because something's wrong there. It was doing really well, and then they cut me off at the knees. That's another story for another time. Anybody? Oh, one last thing. Anybody that's in here, if you haven't done so already, go over to It's in the Blood Facebook page. Give that page a like and give that page a follow. Leave a comment over there for me. I'm going to play all night, Angie. I slept in today. I had no internet. But I got your live going too. I'll have it going as well. I'll watch it as I'm playing for sure. Yeah, Johnny. Alex needs to come back, period. This channel is fun because she's part of it, right? I'm here holding down the fort. It's a her and I thing. It's a we thing. And there's a lot of people here that come here because of her. And I want those people back. So that will be it for the day. We made it an hour. Much love to everybody. 513 says, "Who day all the way." Look for to be the number one offense this year. Watch and see. The number one offense in the NFL will come out of Cincinnati. Now, if Al Golden can do anything at all with that defense, get them to being a top 15 defense, they've got a chance. 51%. I miss her. Leave those comments, go down after the stream ends. Make sure you leave them. Thank all 10 of you for showing up today. Much appreciated. Like the Facebook page, please, if you can. Don't worry. Look for the community tab to let you know when we'll be here, because I don't like to put these things up too early. The community tab will give you those tells. And thank you guys for listening. If you want any of the information repeated, the first 15 minutes of the stream was very informative. Much love. Peace out.